Applications of rational functions. Or in this case, we're going to look at work problems. For example, in a strawberry patch, Amanda can pick 80 quarts of strawberries in 10 hours. Emily can pick 80 quarts of strawberries in 15 hours. How long will it take them working together to pick 80 quarts of strawberries? So we have some information that we need to consider. So we have Amanda and we have Emily. We know that Amanda can complete our task, which in this case is picking 80 quarts of strawberries. That's the constant, that's what we're comparing, that's the whole thing. We know that Amanda can complete our task in 10 hours. So that means if we're looking at the portions, 1/10 would be the portion that Amanda can complete. We don't know how long they're working together, but we know that Amanda's rate is 1/10. Then if we look at Emily, it says Emily can pick 80 quarts of strawberries in 15 hours. So that means that her rate is 1/15. Well, we're looking to see if they're working together. Well, that means that we don't know how long they're working together, but we know that Amanda is 1/10 for her rate times the time working together, plus Emily, which is 1/15 times her rate, times the time working together, is equaling one job. The one job that they're going to complete in this case is picking 80 quarts of strawberries. So, how do we solve this? Well, if we rearrange, this is going to look like x over 10 plus x over 15 equaling 1. So I need to multiply this through so that we can solve. So if we try to find a common denominator, how about we use 30? If we use 30, we could multiply this times 3 and this times 3. We can multiply this times 2 and this times 2. And if we're using a common denominator the whole way across, how about we make this a common denominator as well, which would be 30 over 30. So 3 times x gives us 3x, plus 2 times x gives us 2x, all over 30, and that's going to equal 30 over 30. Well, if I multiply both sides by 30, this cancels and this cancels. So now we're left with 3x plus 2x is 5x, equaling 30, so x equaling 6. So what does that mean? Well, remember we said x was the amount of time that they spent working together. So that means that it will take 6 hours for them to pick 80 quarts of strawberries if they work together. Let's try again. Maria and Latoya plant petunias in a botanical garden. It takes Maria 14 hours to plant the flowers. Working together, they can plant the flowers in 10 hours. How long does it take Latoya to plant the flowers by herself? So we have Maria and we have Latoya. Well, it says Maria can plant the petunias in 14 hours. So her rate is 1/14. But we don't know Latoya's rate. So we'll just call her rate 1 over x, because we don't know what that's going to be. But we know that together they can plant the flowers in 10 hours. So I know Maria is going to do her rate of 1/14 times the amount of time that they work together. And we know Latoya is going to do her rate of 1 over x times the amount of time that they work together. And we know that doing this, they're going to accomplish one job, which in this case, their one job is planting all of the flowers. So let's see what we have. If we simplify this down, we'll have 10 over 14 minus 10 over x equaling 1. So we need a common denominator. You could simplify this if you wanted to. You could leave it and simplify the whole thing later. It doesn't matter. Either way, you're going to get the same thing. So our common denominator looks like it's going to be 14x. So I need x's here, and I need 14's here. It is not the only thing that you could use for your common denominator. That's just what I picked to go with. So that means we'll have 10x minus 140 all over 14x equals 1. If I multiply both sides by 14x, that gives us 10x minus 140 equals 14x. Move our 14x over, that'll give us 4x. Move our 140 over, equals 140, which gives us x equals 35. So what does that mean? Well, that means that LaToya's rate was 1 over 35, which means that it would take her 35 hours to complete the task by herself.